G'day, my name's Darryl Webb. Today we're going to have a quick look at the Allpowers r1500. So this is a solar generator with a 1800 watt inverter in it. It's obviously got DC outlets and with a built-in 100 amp hour lithium battery. 100 amp hour at 12 volt. Obviously you can plug in up to 650 watts of solar into it and charge it up. You can plug it into your 240 and charge it up. You can run fridges off it, you can run air fryers off it, you can run lots of stuff. Anyway, we will go over, we'll see how it charges off solar, how it charges off 240. We'll give it a test, maybe boil a kettle off it and things like that. And we'll have a close look at it. Let's do that. Okay, so on the front here you have got a couple of USB A outlets, a couple of USB C outlets, it's up to 100 watts. You've got a power button for the DC side. So that's for this and the wireless chargers on top. You've got a power button here for all your AC outlets. So there's 4 240 volt AC outlets, Australian plugs. And if you hold this button for 3 seconds, it turns on and off the Bluetooth so you can use the app. The main display is on here, and it sort of shows you the battery percentage, what's in, what's out. Now if you turn something on, say for instance I turn on the DC, it'll show the little USB socket lit up, and it shows the car outlet socket lit up. If I turn on the AC, it's telling me that the AC plug's on. I can hear a little click as the inverter in it turns on. It also gives you a countdown in days remaining, so it's saying 12 days remaining doing what it's doing right now. But you can obviously turn them off. As I mentioned before, on the top there is 2 wireless chargers. I set them on there. They're not super fast chargers, they're just normal, wireless charging. Let's go around and have a look at the actual sides here. So you can see, this is a long press, it's got an AC low overload protect, a solar input, and 240 volt charging input. So you can see them there, all nice and simple. You charge solar, and if you're charging from your car, you can charge through that. Around the other side is some expansion ports. So this model, these bigger models, have the ability to put expansion ports. So you can have one unit and you can buy optional extra expansion ports and make it bigger and bigger and bigger, as big as you sort of want, until probably think you just about run your whole house off them if that's what you wanted to do. Quickly on the back, there is some of its basic specs there. So the model's the r1500. Its capacity is 1152 watt hours, which is 48 volt 24 amp hour. So if you compare this to a 12 volt system, it's around 100 amp hours, 96 to be precise. It's got 6.8 max in, solar 12 to 60 volt, 650 watt max, car charger 12 24 volt DC. Discharge temperature is charge temperature is 0 to 40 Celsius, and discharge temperature is minus 10 to 40 Celsius. The AC is 220 240 volt, 1800 watt max, surge to 3000 watt. It's USB A's, there's 2 of them, 2.5. So it's 2 at 5 volt 3 amp to 9 volt, 2 amp 12 volt, 1.5 amp 30 watt max. USB-Cs are, there's 2 of them at 5, 9 or 15 volt 3 amp, 20 volt 5 amp 200 watt max. Carport 12 volt 10 amp 120 watt max, and wireless charger is 30 watt max. So specs are pretty good, and this one also has, it's not a just a standard lithium battery, it is a LiFePO4. So it's a lithium iron phosphate. So this is the stuff that lasts a long time and many charge cycles before you start to lose capacity. I think on average, from looking at all different brands of things, if you use these sparingly, don't take them below about 20% capacity, you get about 4,000 cycles out of it before you've lost down to about 80% of its capacity. So if you're only charging it down, maybe 50%, sometimes 80%, there's a good chance, depending on your age, that one of these will outlive you. The battery, at least, anyway. Okay, as you can see there, I've got an Allpowers 200 watt solar panel there. It's very dusty and partially shaded, so we're not really looking at what the wattage is, but I've got 3 of these. I absolutely love these. Anyway, long story short, I've got on a bit of extension lead back to the r1500. So all we'll do is, you can sort of see here, there's nothing sort of happening, but anyway, behind this cover is where you charge it up with solar and also with 12 volt. So we'll just wait there for a second and see what it does, see if you guys can see that. Oh yeah, it's just lighting up now. So the battery's at 80%, it's coming in 30 watts, 37, 44. Try and get it out of the, try and get the glare off it. Wait, there's a little sticker thing on there. I don't know if that'll help or make it worse. I think it just made it worse. Oh, we got 80 watts coming in. Okay, but it's capable of a lot more of that. I think it's rated to about 650 watts. It actually says on there, solar/car input 12 to 60 volt, 13 amp max. So if you play around with you know, a voltage buck or booster, or with your solar panels, get nice high panels, or put some panels in series so you get up near 60 volt, you'll be able to get in a lot of wattage. The solar end of it works really well. Right, now we're just going to try some 240 volt charging. It's got my inverter turned on my car here. Plug him in. We'll just see what this guy does. Bloody glare. So it's coming at 40, 60. $150, $180. Certain fans kick on. 500 watts. Now I believe you can change these settings in the app. I haven't played with it too much, but I did turn it down because I originally said it was charging at about 1,000 watts or 1,200 watts, and I didn't sort of need it to be like that. But anyway, at the moment it's in there charging at 520 watts, and that will probably keep it charged. If at that rate, it would be charged in 2 hours. Once you're over 1,000 watts, you know, it's like it's work mode in the more high performance mode on the app. It'll be charged up sort of in an hour. So it's up to you on how hard you want to run it. I felt that charging at 500 watts was more than fast enough for me. All right, I've got a little induction cooker there, and I'll put a cup of water. Actually, it's a little bit over. I've put in 300 mils. So we'll turn the AC on. We'll give this a little bit of a run and see what we can sort of get up to. Okay, so we hit the on button on that guy. Hit the heating button on that guy. We're at 1200 watts. According to that, we can see there it's 1200 watts. Let's turn it up a bit. Let's go up to 1400 watts. Saying 1390, 1401. Let's go a little bit higher. Saying 1600 watts. This guy's saying 1615 watts. Let's take it up to 1800 watts. See what it does. It's saying it's running at 1797. So, doing it at 1800 right. Let's push it. Let's see what it can actually do. Let's take it to 2000 watts. I haven't tried this. It's at 1906. This is an 1800 watt machine, so it's already over 100 watts over its max rating. See how long that lasts before it trips. 1905 watts. The water's starting to boil already. Alright, 1900 watts. Seems to be doing it. You can see that the bring that down, the scale is quite, bring it down to 1000 watts. (987, 988). As you can see, the little meter is actually quite accurate. But anyway, that's boiling that water fast. So that's it. You know, like that's a pretty good test for it. We've brought it up to over its max and it hasn't tripped. I said that it is meant to be able to do 3,000 watts for, you know, instantaneously, but it's doing 1900 watts continuous, so it's actually doing more than what it's meant to be able to do. You can't ask for more than that. Little induction cookers are very noisy. This guy's quite quiet. It's got fans, but they're very quiet. That's what you want to see. Something that performs better than what it's even advertised at. Features that I've liked. I've been testing it. The things that I found about it is I did a quick test with it. It's got an uninterruptible power supply. So if you have, say for instance, medical devices or something like that, you can't turn off, or you know, or sleep apnea machines, CPAP stuff, you can just leave this plugged into the wall and have it plugged into that. And if all of a sudden you have a power outage, it switches over so fast, and the products, you know, maybe your PC, servers, whatever it is you need, won't actually turn off. I don't know, I personally don't have a need for that, but I know people who do, and that worked really well. I like its versatility that you can muck around with the app and change the charge features. Apps on these guys, they don't really do a lot on any of the power stations I've tested. But there are some handy things that'll let you do. As I said, you can change its charge modes, its work modes and things like that. And it'll also let you turn things on and off. For instance, if this was outside and you were running, say for instance, your little caravan off it or something like that, and you had a plugged in run your van, you can switch the inverter off at night from bed off your phone. So the app is handy and it does work well. Other features that it sort of did, things that I like, is with that 1800 watt inverter in it, you can run bigger items like this. You can run, you know, maybe not all your household devices, like some kettles are sort of 2200, 2400 watts, but if you have some more camping type efficient stuff, I've got a 1000 watt kettle, it runs that fine. I took it away camping, I was able to use my induction cooker on it and cook lunch with it. You know, so at 1800 watts, the inverter size is really, really usable. And you can run most stuff, you know, hair dryers on maybe medium, you know, maybe not on full power, but on medium. So it does a lot of stuff, and it's a handy size. And with that sort of 100 amp hour or 96 amp hour at 12 volt lithium battery in it, the Life PO4, as I said, this thing should outlast you for cycles, and it's a good, reliable, safe. It's not like some of the other lithium ion stuff. The lithium iron phosphate is very safe. It's very, very hard to make them have a problem where they would, you know, for safety wise. It's a very, very safe battery chemistry. Pros and cons. This one's really, really easy because I've used several Allpowers devices. Another one that I had, the S2000, I use that weekly. I have a little S300, I use that daily. I haven't come across any problems with the Allpower gear. I think their brand's pretty well, you know, it's quite a mature brand. They've got their stuff down pretty pat. You know, there's no crazy bugs that maybe you find sometimes in some other models, you know, when something's new to market. They seem to get these right, and you know, in general, I haven't had any problems with their devices, and I use them and I quite like them. I recommend them to friends and family, so that's a pretty good testament to it, because you know, it's one thing to get on YouTube and say, I got this and this is great and this is what it does, and not actually test it. I use this stuff, and it does work really good, and I happily recommend it to friends and family. Cons, I just didn't have any. That was it. That was nice and easy. So a bit of a conclusion. Who can I say this one's for? This one's a good general all-rounder. This size is practical enough for, you know, if you had a power outage at home, you could bring this inside and, for instance, run your TV, maybe your internet modem and a fan, and maybe a desk lamp or something like that, and you'd probably see 10 hours plus out of that, you know, enough time for the power to come back on. And obviously for camping or setting up in your full drive, these are very, very handy. Because, you know, you can run those items that you'd have at home, you can run them out camping, you know, so that's a big bonus. People say about power stations in your car replacing your dual battery system that the only thing that's wrong with them is they don't charge fast enough off 12 volt. There's a lot of There's a lot of companies, you can buy stuff off eBay now that's like a buck booster, and it pretty much converts, say for instance, 12 volt to say 48 volt. So say you can get in 10 amps charging off your car. At 12 volt, that's only, you know, 120 watts. But at 48 volt, that's sort of getting close to 500 watts. So then all of a sudden, if you had one of them, and they're cheap, you know, maybe under $100, you can buy a little buck or a booster and convert your 12 to 48 volt, 12 volt to 48 volt, and all of a sudden you're charging it near 500 watts. So even if it was dead flat, you know, even with it as it slows down again, you'd have this charged in less than 3 hours. You'd probably have it charged to nearly 100% in 2 hours from dead flat. So these are quite functional to pretty much replace your whole dual battery system in your car. And the benefit of these is, if there's a power outage or anything, you can get this out of your car and sit it inside and have all the joys of being able to keep your internet going, and TV and a fan and a light, or maybe some refrigeration. So these are very handy. I said I've got the S2000, which I really like, and I do like this one. This one's in the Life PO4 battery chemistry, so this one should last substantially longer. But the only downside to the Life PO4 is it's a bit heavier. I'll put the weight on the screen. I'm not sure exactly what it weighs. It's not too heavy, like you can lift it around, but it's yeah, it's a bit heavier than some of the lithium ion, the standard lithium ion type battery chemistries. I guess that's it. That's my conclusion. I like them, I use them, I'm a big fan of the brand, and the stuff works really good, and that's the most important part. I haven't had any failures. So, and I've been using these now for over 12 months, some of these, so they've been very good. If I've got some discount codes, I'll chuck them down in the description below. You can click on there. I'll put a link to the Allpowers site. So if you want to check them out, they do have some other bigger models. They have some smaller models. I've got a few different ones of them. As I said, I've got a few different little devices, and I found a home for every one of them. Somewhere I want to do something with them. The S2000 quite often lives in my car, but this one I'm sure I'll find a spot inside the house for a bit of backup in the house. Anyway, on that note, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more stuff like this, hit the subscribe button. Bye for now.